Hey guys, welcome back to Powerstroke boys. Today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to install the indestructible low reverse basket for the 4R100 from Tiger Transmissions. Let's get started. Like I said, this is the indestructible low reverse basket from Tiger Transmissions. This is a heavy duty unit. The hub has been welded to the base of the basket. Also, they machined a steel ring to the very top of the basket to prevent it from cracking, warping, or just separating itself in general. You guys do a lot of heavy towing, high performance. This basket is definitely the recommendation for your guys' build. This particular application, we're going to go ahead and be installing 7 steels and 7 frictions. We're going to be using some Raybestos stage 1 frictions and some choline steels, as well as retaining the factory wavy plate. Key note, if you guys decide to remove the wavy plate, it will be a very harsh reverse engagement as the line pressure is doubled going to reverse. So removing this cushion plate will definitely make an uncomfortable ride when engaging to reverse, so be warned. We will be using the factory style snap ring for this demonstration. On the left, you guys can see we have the stock low reverse top plate. On the right, we have the modified one from Tiger Transmission. You can see how much thinner the right one is versus the left. You're probably thinking, well, if it's got this top welded ring on the top, how do you get your steels and frictions after you put the low reverse basket in? So this reverse basket goes in last. What you have to do, you take your stack, you have to install your stack into the transmission first. We cannot get the clutch stack or the snap ring in once this low reverse basket is in. For demonstration, the output shaft has been removed for video purposes. Go ahead, take your wavy plate, set it down on top of your low reverse piston. From there, go ahead and take one of your steels, set a steel on top of the wavy plate. After you have set a steel on top of the wavy plate, go ahead and take your friction of choice and go ahead and install it on top of your steel. Now keep in mind, as you can tell, these have been pre-soaked. Anything performance-wise, definitely recommend you guys go ahead, pre-soak your clutches for 15 to 20 minutes. Let them sit there and dry on a towel so we can go ahead and get our wet stack up. Go ahead, drop your friction in. And you guys will keep repeating this process up until you guys run out of steels and frictions. At that point, you guys are going to top it off with your new modified top plate. We're going to go ahead and install our clutch stack. Go ahead and lube up your race to help everything mesh together and we don't sit here and fight the teeth trying to spline onto the basket. What we're going to do is, as we do our stack up, we're going to go ahead and line up our steels and our frictions. So we should be able to just roll that low reverse basket onto the inner race. We're going to align the friction the best we can with each other. The better we can do now, the easier it will be to install that low reverse basket. You guys can see how those teeth are lined up. Go ahead and take your top plate very gently. Go ahead and take your low reverse snap ring, set it inside the case, and go ahead and get it inside its groove. We went ahead, lubed up our rollers here. Again, this sprag only spins clockwise. This will not turn counterclockwise. And I do recommend putting on some type of mechanic gloves because you guys can cut your hands on the inside of a transmission case. So we're gonna go ahead, just roll this on. Make sure you roll it on straight. Don't try to walk it side to side. Go ahead, get our basket in here. Again, I'm gonna set it in here straight as we can. And that basket already fell in. You can probably hear I'm feeling each friction move up because we're splining it in the outside of the basket. They're all seated. So there we go. Now we can go ahead and check our stack clearance. All right, we're ready to check our low reverse clutch clearance. Come down here and you guys can see bottom hole here. It's hit my finger. That is our feed for the low reverse piston. We're going to go ahead and take 125 psi of compressed shop air, apply it to that hole, and we can actuate and check our clutch clearance. You can either do 2 ways. You can stick a feeler gauge between the bottom of the snap ring and the top plate, actuate the piston a couple times and see where it's tight, see where it's loose. I've got my dial indicator here. I've got it laying flat on top of the inner race, so we're on a completely level plane. We are in the center of the top plate there. We come down here through our little inspection hole, zero our gauge out. Again, this is our supply hole right here. I got this air nozzle from O'Reilly's. It was 11 bucks. I like this one because it's a very long, skinny nozzle. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and stick the nozzle because it fits perfectly inside that hole. Before I end the video, let's say you didn't have a dial gauge to check your clearance. You actuate the piston a couple times, you leave your low reverse basket out. You guys can use a thing called feeler gauges. This is currently a stack of 23 thousandths, 24 thousandths, and 25 thousandths to give us a total stack height of 72 thousandths of an inch. You guys saw the dial indicator came in at 68 thousandths on my particular clutch stack, okay? And again, keep in mind, these are wet soaked clutches, meaning they're going to expand a little bit. In this industry, people say anywhere from 5 to 10 thousandths clearance per clutch. or per friction. So if you guys are trying to figure out what your tolerance is with just doing easy math, we have 7 here. Being soaked in transmission fluid, they swelled up to 10 thousandths. So 7 times 10 is 70. So we have about 70 thousandths here. Again, keep in mind, we're at 68 thousandths. So what you guys want to do is get a measurement between the bottom of the snap ring and the top of the top plate. So you can see we kind of caught it there a little bit, but it's very, very snug going in, meaning the couple thousandths we have over is correct, meaning that our clutch pack is indeed 68 thousandths. But we start coming over here in the case, you know, really can't get the feeler gauge in. Nope, so 72 thousandths, we don't have that much of a gap. All right, you guys, here we have 25 thousandths, 24 thousandths, 19 thousandths, giving us a total stack height of 68 thousandths, right where our dial gauge said. To make sure the dial gauge is accurate, you guys can use feeler gauges just to double check that. Go ahead and take your stack up. Again, we're looking for 68 thousandths, which we have 68 thousandths stack here in this feeler gauge set. And look at that. You guys remember before how the other one wouldn't slide? You remember how we tried this last time with the higher stack and it wouldn't move. But we come over here underneath the snap ring. Look at that. In doing this ensures a correct build, no slipping clutches, and also we're going to have a solid no delay reverse engagement. As you guys see, you can do it 2 ways. You can either measure your clearance with feeler gauges or using a dial indicator. Dial indicator is always going to be more accurate. Feeler gauges will get you started, but if you want a true number, always use a dial gauge. I got that one off Amazon for less than 50 bucks shipped to my house. You really can't beat that. So just wanted to show you guys how to use feeler gauges just in case you didn't have a dial gauge to use. You guys see on the screen now we have a clutch clearance specifications chart. You guys can see the part number in the bottom right hand corner. This is from a company called Precision International. It comes with a sealing gasket set you guys buy. You get this piece of information with it. You can see in the middle of the screen where we have a red arrow indicating the reverse clutch clearance for the diesel application. Our specification is 27 thousandths to 113 thousandths. So if you guys remember in math class, finding mean, median, and mode, to find median is the middle of 2 numbers. So to find that, you take the 27 thousandths plus 113 thousandths, which equals 140. Now to find the median of that number, go ahead and divide it by 2, which gives us 70 thousandths. So you guys saw in the video with us having 68 thousandths clutch clearance, we're just below the median of our application, which is perfect. Our numbers are indeed correct. We have proper low reverse clutch clearance. With this clutch clearance, we're still going to have firm engagement. We're not going to have any low reverse delay, but there we go. All right, you guys, that's going to wrap this video up. The dog's looking for some lunch here. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you guys have any questions, DM me on Instagram or drop a comment down below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.